Welcome to the Folktale Project. This is Dan Scholes. This week we're headed to Japan for 3 new stories from Japanese fairy world. The first of our stories this week tells about a place, a very, very special place. This is the Waterfall of Yoro, or the Fountain of Youth. Long, long ago, when the oldest stork was young, there lived an aged woodcutter and his son on the slopes of the mountain Tagi, in the province of Mino. They gained a frugal livelihood by cutting brushwood on the hillside and carrying it in bundles on their back to sell at the nearest market town, for they were too poor to own an ox. With the money thus received, they bought rice and radishes, their daily food. Only once or twice a year, at New Year's and on the Mikado's birthday, could they afford to treat themselves to a mess of bean curd or fresh fish. Yet the old man was very fond of rice wine, and every week bought a gourd of it to keep his old blood warm. As the years rolled on, the aged father's limbs became so stiff that he was unable any longer to climb the mountains. So his son, now grown to be a sturdy man, cut nearly double the quantity of wood, and thus kept the family larder full. The old man was so proud of his son that he daily stood at sunset in front of his rustic gate to welcome him back, and to see the old daddy and the young stripling remove their handkerchiefs and bow with hands on knees in polite fashion, bending their backs and sucking in their breath out of respect to each other, and to hear them inquiring after one another's health, showering mutual compliments all the time, one would have thought they had not seen each other for 8 years, instead of 8 hours. One winter, the snow fell long and thick until the ground in field and forest was covered several feet over. The bamboo branches bent with their weight of white, the pine boughs broke under their load, and even the stone idols along the wayside were covered up. At first, even with the hardest work, the young woodcutter could scarcely get and sell wood to buy enough food to keep them both alive. He often went hungry himself so that his father might have his warm wine. One day he went by another path up one of the mountain dells with his rope basket strapped to his back and the empty gourd bottle at his belt. While gloomily grieving over his hard luck, the faint odor of rice wine seemed borne on the breeze. He snuffed the air. It was no mistake. "Here's luck, surely," said he, throwing down his bundle. Hurrying forward, he saw a foaming waterfall tumbling over the rocks in a thick stream. As he drew near, some of the spray fell on his tongue. He tasted it, smacked his lips, and throwing down his cord and basket to the ground, filled his gourd and hastened home to his father. Every day, to the end of his father's life, did he come to this wonderful cascade of wine, and thus the old man was nourished for many a long year. The news of this fountain of youth spread abroad until it reached the court. The Mikado, hearing of it, made a journey to Mino to see the wonderful waterfall. In honor of this event, and as a reward of filial piety, the name of the year period was changed to Yoro, nourishing old age. And that is the story of the great Waterfall of Yoro, and as the addendum says to the story, to this day many people, young and old, go out to enjoy picnic parties at the foot of the waterfall, which now, however, runs honest water only, which makes the cheeks red, not the wonderful wine that once tipped the old daddy's nose with perpetual vermilion. You know, this is just a lovely story of a father and a son. This is Dan Scholes for the Folktale Project. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Overcast, anywhere you like to get your podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Folktale Project. You can find us on Auto Radio, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere you like to listen. And you can always head over to folktaleproject.com, where you'll find a new story waiting for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This Wednesday, we'll be back with our next story, telling us about the Tengus. As always, thank you so much for listening.